Get it together, Rob! It's episode 612 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Baldo. I'm here today with Rob Roseboom and Chris DeBona. Gentlemen.
Hello.
Keep it tight. Come on, let's get going.
You made me laugh right before I pressed the button. Why don't you talk while I get this out of my system?
Zen? Was that me or Zen? I mean, Zen's pretty funny.
It's fair.
Stowaways.
Stowaway.
It's not on the list, but did you watch it?
I did.
I watched it.
I did.
What'd you think?
It's slow. It's got that tense, slow build sci-fi burn thing.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the Scott Manley video on the science behind it. He was a consultant on that.
Yes.
The movie itself is fine. It's in that big. The science fiction has like. It has like a curve, right? Like there's the really bad and the really good on the either ends, and it's sort of one of those things that kind of lives in the very, very wide middle band.
Yeah,
where
it's a fat middle movie.
It's
I'd say
watchable
it's
sci-fi.
Approaching okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, it's it's that.
Did you
class
watch it,
of
Sam?
movie.
No, I didn't watch that or Voyagers.
I haven't watched Voyagers yet.
Voyagers is
Both are on the
is
list.
worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because my only beef with Stowaway is that they didn't tell you why he was stowing away.
He passed out while he was doing
it looked
repairs.
like just an accident.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. How did he
'Cause,
get screwed into the the gosh darn hull?
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is when you're really tired at work and then you crawl into a workspace and fall asleep where no one can see you.
You know, the usual.
Well, this is the thing. If they had basically, because like there were a couple moments where he shows himself to be very, very competent, and it's like, okay, if that's who this dude is, there's something else going on with why he's on the ship. It's like if they had just gone a little further, it could have been a much better movie.
Maybe he was just so exhausted from moving a big heavy lift chair for
Yeah,
his mother-in-law the night before.
Those things can weigh 160 pounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if they're in their box with like cushioning and stuff, it's probably even more.
Definitely more.
Yeah, you need like a forklift or a power jack or something,
Or a
decent
brother-in-law,
handles.
or
or a
that's at least
better
as strong
better
as you.
family.
Yeah.
A better family. That's what you need.
There's been I have a whole slew. Black Bear is really cool. If you want to see like an art kind of movie, but don't read anything about it. Just watch it and trust me that the second half is completely different than the first half, and it's worth it.
It's weird. If you like weird Aubrey Plaza, you'll like it.
I do like Lobby. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's a hard one, right?
Yeah. And she's really good in the last half hour of that movie. It's just kind of a wow.
She's just good in everything.
That's not true. I have seen her in many, many, many movies, and that is not true.
Oh, okay.
What else did I watch recently? We already talked about Mitchell's versus the Machines and Nobody.
Are we actually streaming?
I think we're dropping frames like a mad mother.
Okay, we'll upload. Sorry,
I'll upload in 20 minutes.
Yes.
Ambolu. All right, well let's see what else we got here on the list. There's some funny ones. People are eating raw meat to get high, which
Not
is
raw meat, rotten meat.
worse. Yeah.
That's so gross, dude.
Yeah, but isn't that what they do? What's the Nordifish or the Lutefish?
Lutefisk is fermented fish.
Oh, that's different.
It's a nice way of saying rotten. But,
And they have to do that to pull the ammonia and other dangerous chemicals out of the meat. Otherwise, it's poisonous. So it's a chemical transformation that makes it so that the meat is absolutely terrible, but you won't die when you eat it. This is actually kind of following a trend where it became popular when all this gut health stuff started. Like 10
I'm just
years
building
ago.
up my bacteria load.
Right. So it became popular to some people would keep little bits of rotted meat in cans or jars, and they'd eat it a little bit each day to build up the strength and numbers of their gut bacteria.
There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those stories like, okay, I am no scientist, I am no medical expert of any way, shape, or form, but there's a
You're not
lot
a
of those
doctor.
stories that are really weird about like the fecal replacements and like tending to your biomes and like weird things people do to get bacteria into their bodies. I don't know about any of that. It's weird.
So it is weird, but fecal replacements to repopulate your biome after a heavy course of antibiotics, chemotherapy, that kind of thing. This is actually legit, right? The problem is people say, hey, I heard about poop replacements. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put raw meat up my butt. And
come here, Jimmy.
I mean, that's exactly it. If you were like Tig Notaro and you end up getting C. diff, right? And you're about to die, a fecal transplant will help you.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you just, want to feel more vibrant, perhaps putting other people's poop up inside of you isn't the answer. Right?
Gross.
So, and if you're anal curious, all right, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, dude. All right, so speaking of
weird. And also
not meeting
I
expectations,
think we should blame this on Facebook. So another thing that's not on the Taco Zone is Facebook's BS oversight board came out and said that Trump should stay off for another few weeks or whatever. So
we talked about this.
Did we talk about it?
Yeah,
we did.
Well,
yep.
I just have no memory.
We know.
All right, let's keep going. Rotten meat. Starlink.
I got bad news for Roseboom. I know you were really thinking SpaceX might be giving you the Starlink internet sweetness, but apparently it's not as fast as they were hoping.
Well,
shocked.
The thing is, anyone who knows this technology knows that when he said you're going to have gigabit from the stars, you're like, yeah, you're full of crap, buddy. It doesn't mean that this is bad, though. I mean, the thing is, yes,
like, there are quite a few people around this area who have it. Because I asked in the forums. There's at least a half dozen, maybe 10 people around here who have it, and they say it does work a ton better than HughesNet, because out here a lot of people have gone down the satellite road and gave up on it because well, Malda, you had it for a little while.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's dog shit.
No bueno. Yeah.
So it is better and more reliable than that, but they do report that there's still issues with heavy rain and clouds. And here in Michigan in the springtime, do you get much rain in Michigan? we get a ton of bad storms.
Do you get much tornado in Michigan?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm picturing the Starlink dish like during like a really hard windstorm, just like picking up like a sail and just going away, Yeah.
I like that whenever we talk about anything, it always just comes back to satellite dishes with Chris.
I love satellite dishes. They're exciting. It's the state flower of West Virginia.
They're round. They're parabolas. What's not to love?
Well, some are parabolas, some are not. See, I mean, it's the shape of the dish really matters.
So yeah, until they fix that or Comcast decides to run 150 feet further down the road, I am stuck with my array of 4 telephones and their hotspots.
What does the cable company say the charge for 150 feet of cable would cost you?
Oh, I haven't even asked.
Is it undergrounded?
I can't imagine.
Yes. Is yours undergrounded? So figure $150 per foot is typically what they want to charge you. So
my old place, they wanted $30,000 to get from Rob. You remember my house, but to get from Baker Road to Marshall Road, though that length, they wanted $30,000, and that is 500 feet. Oh,
yeah, they charged then $22,000.
Yeah, I don't got $22,000.
No,
just laying around. The weird thing is, I can sit in my backyard and look at the winery, just 150 feet, 200 feet from me, and I know that they have internet. And part of me thinks about renting a trench digger and making some deal with a winery.
Do you know them well? I mean, because you could say, listen, you can have a quarter of my acre for vines. If I can put up a mesh point to point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the HOA will say about me turning my backyard into a winery, but
Well,
HOAs.
In all seriousness,
in
all seriousness, Chris, you shared a link a while back from a local Ann Arbor fellow who I know.
That's right.
And he did that in his neighborhood. He ran underground cables, and it wasn't that big of a deal. And it's the parent of one of my kids' friends in school. So I'll put you in touch if you actually wanted to pursue this. It's not an insane proposition, but it is a thing.
Yeah, I decided as part of my move that I was going to tie into fiber if it killed me. So, and it was expensive, but yeah,
so yeah, until that happens, I can sit back on my DSL lines and my various hotspots around the house.
So returning to the topic, 40 megabits per second is nothing to frowny face at.
It's okay.
No.
The latency numbers, not as good. But I think that's more about there's no reason for it to be that high.
I lived on 1.5 megabits until 2012, man. Yeah,
but 486%. Well, what are the actual milliseconds? Yeah, who cares? 88 milliseconds?
That's manageable.
That's completely manageable. So,
well, what's the upstream?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Saying 31 to 81 milliseconds.
Well, I do have some more bad news for you, Chris.
Oh, no, what?
I was bummed for you because I was hoping you'd put your Chernobyl background up.
I can do that.
Because apparently there are more fission reactions occurring in the Chernobyl reactor.
Well, they never stop,
They're smoldering again.
Well, and also we're coming to the end of the life of the original dome they put into place.
They got the new one up now, right?
They have a new one up? They get it up there?
That giant thing?
Since 2016, the canopy new safe confinement. Yeah, and that one will last until 2050 is what they're saying.
Yeah. So that's our kids' problems now.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yep, for sure.
Well, the funny thing about this is we knew that this was still going on. I mean,
well, sure, but nobody's going to pay to fix it.
Yeah.
Remember, it's infrastructure.
Ukraine's problem, yo.
Infrastructure is somebody else's problem.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. So I've seen this before, but it's Hateris. It's the Tetris clone that is programmed to always give you the worst possible piece.
Oh.
I would love to find a video.
I was trying to find that too. I wonder if there's one on the YouTubers. And also, I did like that the guy explains in this that it's not to be confused with Hateris, which was a completely different game, which, if you'd remember, was literally a game kind of more like columns back in the day, but you stacked hats. And when you got matching hats, they disappeared. There we go, Hateris. The website listed high scores for Hateris, and a good high score is bad.
What?
You're going to have to mix it up, man. It's Hateris.
No way. No way.
Well, this is worse than Hateris. Oh, good. Yeah, thanks. I like that you haven't got a single dog leg. They want you desperately.
You know what's going to happen the second I do this?
I'm
gonna get another one. Ah!
Yeah,
bastard.
That's it. Well, while Chris is trying to see if he can get a score, there's one without a picture, which is the Chinese rocket that they used to put up their space station module, and they sent it up without really any way to aim where it lands.
Yeah, they're having a big whoopsie.
Yeah, they're having an oopsie day. Yep, it's working out fine for them.
Oh, you son of a...
There was I don't know if it's still true, but Kat was saying that one of the higher probability landing sites is around Toledo. So, Rob, what do you think? You want a road trip down there?
Hell, should go get yourself some space junk.
See if we can collect a Chinese rocket.
Yeah, like just a souvenir,
The Chinese are known for being really giving when it comes to that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah. They'll let us freely have... Wow, you're not going to get a single point.
not true. I killed off one line.
Oh, you did? Oh, never mind. You're a hero.
This is infuriating.
This is great. I got to make my children play this and see if they continue to talk to me after that. It counts as a chore if you can get 10 points. Oh.
Now it gives it to me.
You lost. That's great.
All right. Let's go back to the zone.
All right, so we should talk about driving while zooming.
Okay, so I have an opinion on this. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't, unless he was like looking at the thing. So because I'll do phone calls while driving, and if they're video calls, I just sort of stick it on the dash and talk to Zen and the team. So I don't see how this is a big deal. Did he actually like take a look at things? I mean, I just think it's cute. I don't think it's a problem.
You don't think that it was a problem that he was in a panel discussing legislation about distracted driving?
I think he's making a comment.
Oh, you think this is his plan? All right.
Chris thinks this is an art piece.
It's an art piece.
Yep. After this is done, he puts on a meat dress and goes to the Oscars.
Yeah. The best part is he's also drinking a drink, Yeah.
He's doing it all, man.
Look at this guy.
Wait
for it. Looking around. I mean, he's checking his corners.
Yeah, he's checking his mirrors.
He's looking at his mirrors.
10 and 2. Looking at the camera right there.
Look at the camera.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah.
And there's the drink. Maybe he's at a stop sign, or a stoplight.
Nope, okay, he's not. You can see him moving.
Yeah, he's booking. Yeah, he's on a highway.
Yeah. I mean, that guy, you're right. He had to have been doing this, like, to make a point, I think. I don't see how anybody could, like, not be that self-aware, but then again...
Oh, this is totally a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he probably should have just muted his video, Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, he was saying, sorry, I'm driving, that's why it's so loud. I mean, he said that.
For sure. For sure.
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that that guy's a role model for the next generation.
It's Ohio,
Yep.
The next generation's doomed in Ohio.
Well, pretty much the whole Midwest is in trouble. I'm hoping that we can make it, but it doesn't look good for us. We talked on Wednesday about the Berkshire Hathaway stock price thing. They actually, Daring Fireball said it was a 32-bit unsigned int.
Yep.
And they were using it. They had instead of using like a penny or whatever, they were using 10,000ths of a dollar.
1,000th of a penny. So there's four digits of precision after the.
Right. So that was how they got to that $ figure that flooded the system.
Yeah.
I had a dumb thought too while I was after we finished the conversation. It's like they delist you if you fall below like $1 or something for a certain period of time.
If it lasts long enough, they'll eventually delist you.
So it seems like they could just do the same thing to Berkshire, be like, come on, guys, just like
you can't be
just do a 100x split and just be done with it. We're real proud of you. You did real good. But like, we can't graph you next to things.
Yeah. That's what they should do. You're right. They should just kick them off the old internet.
Just take them off the exchange. Screw you guys. You don't need to be on the NASDAQ. If people want to buy your Berkshire Hathaway stock, they can mail you money in an envelope.
Yeah.
Okay, pesky condors. This is you, Rob.
Wow, that's a great article. Condors. We have enough condors now that they're giving trouble to people in the city?
This lady found that her home became the roost of something like 13% of all the living condors. and they trashed everything.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
They tore apart everything. And, she couldn't do anything because, they're one of the most endangered species on Earth. And
wow.
She just has to sit and watch the 20 condors pick apart the housing to her AC units, tip over all her plants.
Oh my gosh.
And can you imagine the shits?
Yeah.
They're enormous. Yeah.
What do you what's the insurance look like on something like that? Because
I guess homeowners insurance,
it should be, because okay, if those were crows, you would just shoot them and then move. It would be a mess, but you'd move on with your day. But you can't shoot these.
Well, you can't shoot them, and they do a lot more damage than a simple crow. Look, they're knocking over plants, man.
Yeah,
that's just the deck.
Well, so the thing I love about it is they all have their numbers from being tagged, and it's like you could say, well, number 16 did this. It's almost like a beauty pageant, but for violence from these condors.
You kind of wish that it was one of those houses that had all the smart cameras everywhere, so we could watch it like reality TV.
Oh, it'd be so great. Yeah,
I'd be all in.
Oh my goodness! Look at this.
Yeah,
Wait, I can't tell if this was her disaster or the birds.
Yeah, she might have just been a hoarder.
This is a very weird. Like she had a filter cover over her.
Well, it looks
air
like
conditioning unit.
It looks like they've just worked their beaks in and started picking out every bit of insulation they could, any bit of rubber housing they could. They started shredding it all.
I wonder if she had like a thing over her air intake for the fires, and they're like, "Oh, I see insulation and nest material." So
we had a bat get in our house a while
really?
back. Yeah, and that was a pretty fun experience.
And that's where COVID came from.
That's right. I just cat running around with a broom, sweat, get out, doors open. It was great. It got in through the fireplace, flew. Thanks, bat. Did you ever see Condor Man?
Yes.
I have.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That was on my list of maybe movies to go back, but I haven't watched that movie since the 80s, and I seem
that's
to
not
recall.
William Catt. That's who is that?
I just remember it being really bad.
It is.
Condor.
I don't know if I dare watch it again.
You want to ruin your childhood?
Right. We just watched, I don't know how you guys are on Clone Wars stuff, but Bad Batch is fun.
That's what I heard. I haven't checked it out yet, but
it's nice because it's tapped real deep into the Clone Wars lore. So, I mean, if you liked the Clone Wars, then it's got a lot for you. But it also opens up essentially with the Order 66 part of Revenge of the Sith. So it's fun to get a different perspective of that sequence. Yeah. Condor Man.
Well.
Superhero movies were different back in the day.
Right? This week's How Did This Get Made movie is Supergirl, so I watched that yesterday. The 1984 Supergirl.
This is before the MCU showed everyone that you could make billions of dollars on comic book movies.
This is before even Batman, the Tim Burton Batman, where nobody thought you could make a good superhero movie. It's like, we made Superman, and then that's it. There's not going to be a good Superman movie or a superhero movie until Batman.
Yeah, Helen Slater.
Who has gone on to be a guest star in every Superman-related franchise since.
Yeah.
Live Leaks shut down? Was that you, Chris?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I posted it because it's kind of a story, but I don't know that I care. Yeah. Like if World Star shut down, that'd be like interesting.
Well,
but
like GeoCities and stuff, those were places that had more impact, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a big thing that leaked out of Live Leak.
I honestly, every time I saw Live Leak, I thought it was Microsoft. Was there some connection between them for a while?
Are you spreading baseless conspiracy on the internet? I mean, no. Because we're dropping about 40% of our packets right now.
I mean, mostly Live Leaks was stuff that was too violent or gross to be on YouTube without getting pulled,
Yeah.
So.
What else?
Something in that gray area in between slightly better than the Tub Girl and Goatsy segment of the internet.
Hey, look at this story that Zen posted about firing squads.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's sad too.
Well, they're bringing back firing squads.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest with like if you look at what exactly happens to a person when they die in the gas chamber, it's absolutely horrific.
Oh yeah.
Electrocution is pretty freaking bad too.
Yeah.
And with the shortage of all the proper drugs to actually kill someone, quote unquote, humanely lethal injection.
Humanely, with finger quotes.
I mean, they have really screwed the pooch on a bunch of those right now. And I know there's a visceral reaction to the idea of a firing squad, but I have to be honest with you, 4 really high-powered rifles with big cartridges slamming into your chest kills you about as instantly as you can die. It may seem barbaric, but I got to be honest, I think it's probably more humane than some of the things we do to people to execute them now in this country.
I mean, if you're okay with the state killing people,
right?
Yeah. It's like, at some point, is this just because you don't want to watch it? You know, you don't want to see the results of your decision here. Right. I don't know. It's just like,
and I mean, they have traditionally the thing where one person in the firing squad has a blank.
Right.
So that
plausible deniability.
So that they all shoot and you can tell yourself, maybe I had the blank. Right. You know?
Yeah. There's a guy in Nevada who killed a bunch of people in a supermarket shooting, and he's asking to be killed by firing squad instead of lethal injection. So, and it's like, you know what? I have a hard time thinking that I care. You know, I mean, I have to tell you this: the state has decided that this person's going to die. You can die by firing squad.
I mean, if we are going to have government-sanctioned, killing of people,
which, to be fair, we do, because we go into other countries and shoot people all the time.
Well, I mean, of our criminals. I don't see firing squad being any more barbaric than any of the other ways.
It is equally as barbaric as electrocution. I mean, seriously?
Electrocution is scary.
The gas chamber is the worst one, because it literally takes, best case scenario, minutes for people to choke and die on that, as the, a VLI in their lungs have burst and are incapable of taking oxygen. I mean, it's an horrific way to die.
Boy, I'm so glad I chose this story.
Yeah, way to go. You want to talk about live leaks again? Oh, let's see. Is there anything cool happening this weekend? That was the last thing that we had on the list for today.
Well, it looks like Mummy's gonna have a baby. A mummy they thought was a male priest was a pregnant woman.
Oh,
so
that's awkward.
That's something.
That's awkward.
Super awkward. I mean, how do you explain that?
Ugh. Who's paying child support?
Who's paying child support?
Well, can you imagine the back child support due at this point?
Yeah. 5,000 years.
Yeah. You wouldn't have your license for decades.
Did either of you watch Mitchell's versus the Machines?
Not yet. No. I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm gonna see if my 14-year-old wants to watch it with me.
It's glorious. I haven't seen any movie. That was the only other movie that I had on my list. Bad Batch.
A bunch of monkeys have taken over a COVID shutdown resort. Here, look.
I want to go there.
Right? I mean, look, they're having a grand old time.
Aww. Sorry, podcast listeners. We're watching adorable monkeys get into pool shenanigans.
Look at that.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that sweet? Wait. Did you see them jump? Oh, there he goes.
I like the cameraman in the background, too.
Yeah.
This looks like it's probably Costa Rica or Central America.
It's India, I believe.
Oh, is it?
Mahala Bashar.
Oh, yeah. India, sure. Yeah.
Man, India's going through the shits right now.
People,
man.
Yep.
I really feel terrible for them.
I don't know if I said this to you guys earlier. I was so Wednesday is my 2 weeks after vaccine, and I immediately looked up what's in the movie theater, and there's the movie theater closest to my house is shut down. It's like, you were open like 3 weeks ago. You were still open when it was even worse. Oh.
Yeah, the one near me is still open. Inslee said he's going to put a 2-week pause on phase changes. So we're not going to revert, but we're not going to go forward.
There's a theater in downtown Ann Arbor that's showing Scott Pilgrim this weekend.
Yeah?
That's one of my all-time favorites.
I still like that movie.
I
I watched it recently, and it's good.
I watch that movie about every six to 9 months because
They're
my
showing
kids
it
like
at my
it.
theater too. Is there something about
It's
Scott
like an
Pilgrim?
anniversary or something.
Is it like the 10th anniversary of Michael Cera going through puberty or something? I mean, yeah. Virtuoso, Percy versus Goliath, which is about Monsanto, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Girl Who Would Believe in Miracles. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, you know what that is, though.
That's part of Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah, it's the spin-off.
Yeah. And then Godzilla versus Kong, Ryan the Last Dragon.
Which is not showing in the IMAX, which made me grouchy.
Well, I don't have an IMAX on my little theater here. So, so there you go.
Let's see, what do we got? Movie I haven't heard of. Ryan the Last Dragon's okay.
Was it good? Did you like it?
I liked it. I liked it fine. So if you like that genre movie, it is a good version of that movie. Mitchell versus the Machines is a great movie by any measure. Is a great movie.
I'm looking forward to it.
Ryan the Last Dragon is a good movie by action movie seen through Disney princess lens.
Yeah.
But you have to, but it's, I don't know. You've seen that movie before. Godzilla versus Kong is not in the IMAX. Nobody is cool, but I've already seen it. I ain't gonna watch Tom and Jerry.
No. That's my child that you're talking about there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do we have anything else, or should we rock and roll?
I got nothing.
All right. Then, gentlemen, let us bid farewells, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Goodbye to Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
Chris DeBona.
See ya. Thanks for keeping it tight.
Rob Commander Taco Malda. We out.